focus America's attention on the economic growth that's occurring right now in their neighborhood and in their town, Joe Biden's going to have a very good night focused on that.
Yeah, let's try to do it. And here's another guy insulated from this, right? He doesn't have to worry about this, trying to tell people they shouldn't measure the economy by what is meaningful to them. In other words, they're dopes. You have to measure the economy by what I tell you to measure it by, not by what you're really feeling in your own life. All right, let me give you the side question, and we'll take some of your calls. Michael Watley here at 1 o'clock today, 855-839-1210. You get in. Side question today. Alec Trebek. No booing. The beloved, particularly, once he contracted cancer and the long struggle with it, host of Jeopardy. Every time I see Ken Jennings, I go, oh, man.
What did I tell you guys at the beginning? No booing or hissing.
Boo Ken Jennings.
We might have to take someday, what was the biggest fall off? From a debonair Alec Trebek to Ken Jennings up there, smarter than a room, annoying. I can't take the guy as the host. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers even. But anyhow, there will be a stamp. It's hard to believe. It's 5 years. He's a naturalized citizen, Alec Trebek.
Alex Trebek.
And he will be immortalized with a forever stamp that'll be coming out shortly. So we thought we'd ask, and this is a tricky question. I believe it takes 5 years after your death. Just so you know, can't say a president because all presidents automatically get the stamp. Now, are they going to try to block Trump from getting the stamp? So let's not hear Trump answers. Whatever. No. Hit us with somebody that you think, living, or if they're deceased and they already don't have a stamp, that's worthy of it. So, Dan, I started looking around. The answers are, oh, my God, Stern.
Oh, no.
Springsteen.
Stern, really? Springsteen?
Even worse, Bill Gates. I don't want to be in a country where Bill Gates has a stamp. Do you?
No, not at all. I feel like that's like putting Bill Gates on the dollar at that point.
Yeah. Lady Gaga, I could be okay with that. I mean,
Really?
It's a celebrity stamp.
Yeah,
it's not horrible.
yeah,
She's
okay.
not horrible, no. How about you? Who would you put on the stamp?
Well, we need Frank Sinatra, right?
I think he already had it, no?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
And how about Ryan Seacrest?
Oh, no. That's not moving.
No?
No.
No, not Ryan
That's
Seacrest?
Sajak more than
I mean,
Ryan
American
Seacrest.
Idol. Come on, very American kind of guy.
Oh,
He's been all over the place.
God. Oh,
Dick
God.
Clark's rocking New Year's Eve.
Dick Clark is fine.
Dom,
yes.
when Ryan Seacrest goes, we're gonna miss him.
Oh, my God. You sound like Roe every time that I go after him. Yeah. He's famous for being famous. Okay, continue.
No, that's my
Oh,
one,
Ryan
yeah.
Seacrest?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Ryan Seacrest. Yeah.
All right.
Peyton Manning.
All right. So who would you like to see on a stamp? And evidence of it. You would buy it. You'd like to put it on letters. I don't know. And I don't know how the stamp business is surviving now. I mean, we don't send anything out due to all the check washing and everything else. I take it to the post office.
Well, there's a lot that gets mailed. It's just packages now, right?
Yeah.
And they use the big, printed out.
Yeah, right. They're not
labels.
Yeah, so I don't know that you're using as many. Who would you like to see on a stamp? I'm glad that Trebek is getting one, without a doubt.
Who would you like to see?
All the ones that I picked, I
Yeah.
looked them up, and I think they're already out there.
Well, they can already be out there, but who deserves
Elvis,
it?
Elvis is one.
Okay, yeah. He deserves one.
I started going through, it's sad. I can't name too many military people right now alive that I think are worthy of a stamp. What does that tell us?
Yeah,
I mean, that a level that everybody would know, not
Colonel
just somebody
Alan
heroic.
West.
Well, Alan West, yes. Yeah, well, I could see them in Congress. That's not happening. All right. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Everything in play. Michael Watley at 1 o'clock today. By the way, don't forget, just a week away tomorrow. I know it's quick turnaround time. If you missed last week at Mulligan's, it was unbelievable. Best Dom day ever. So July 4th, I'll have my big list, Dan, of the top 10, two big lists, one an hour. One is the top 10 founding fathers. People always get nuts on that coming after me.
Yeah.
And another would be the greatest Americans or most patriotic Americans.
Okay.
People can submit, tell me somebody that should be on that. I'm fine with it.
Can I request one more top
Yeah.
list?
Yes.
How about the Dom Giordano big list of big lists?
which would be...
Well, you always say that, the Founding Fathers list is, by far the best, number 1, but what would be number 5 through 1?
Oh, yeah, the big lists that I've done over the course
the
of
big
time.
lists of all your big lists.
All right, I'm going to have to put some thought into that, but you know what? I like that. Yeah, 1 an hour maybe there at Mulligan's. All right.
Are we going to overdo it?
I mean, the most bizarre things that I've said on the air and believe in, that like you're driving with 2 feet.
Oh, I do like, maybe that's a better one than the big list of all big lists.
Beliefs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll write that one down. Definitely we'll get that one. You can hit me on Twitter at DomShow1210. Be a contributor. I'll start putting that up. But I'd love to hear from you on that at 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. The Steve Keeley stamp, Jim says. Yeah, not bad. Hit us on.
I like that. Yeah, Steve Keeley stamp.
Hit us on Talk Radio 1210.
Thursday night, the debate, Biden and Trump. And you can hear it here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
To surrender to bullies, to bow down to dictators is simply unthinkable.
Within moments of taking the oath of office, I will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home.
Then Walter Sterling will be live immediately following the debate to take your reaction live. The CNN presidential debate, Thursday at 9 on CNN and simulcast here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Veneria is and has been my dentist also. And doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to him, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Veneria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Veneria's office does everything. Dr. Veneria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strict disinfection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com.
According to a study conducted by Atticus Law Firm, 40% of retirees were forced back into the workforce because they received a deceptive sales pitch from their broker. But there is one way to ensure that you don't become part of that statistic.
Tony Gambone and Denise Gambone, Royersford, Pennsylvania.
I know people that had to go back to work because they got bad investment advice from brokers. By recording our sessions, Crash Proof Retirement proves they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
The recordings used by Crash Proof Retirement is just a natural extension of how Crash Proof is legally bound to do right for the consumer.
Guarantee legally binding transparency for your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for the next Crash Proof Retirement educational event at Downingtown Country Club on Tuesday, July 23rd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Well, it's Gerhard's Freedom to Save sales event, and we've got deals more star-spangled than Apollo Creed shorty shorts.
We're giving you the chance to save $1,000 instantly on this LG Counter Depth French door refrigerator.
Would you look at the Liberty bells and whistles on that thing?
It's only $9.99.
Independence Hall of Fame is where that one belongs. Come on down to Gerhard's and let the freedom sale ring.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Yo, Royersford. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, 855-839-1210. So I think I didn't see in the media they went into enough detail, Dan did, with the cheap fake idea, and then the granddaddy of cheap fakes, the deep fake that the French woman kept on talking about. Well, as I found out, Biden has been caught up in his people. Now, look, President Trump did not fill up the Liacouras Center, okay? That would be almost preposterous given the weather, given being located in North Philly. Let's face it. I mean, I was honest when people called and asked us, well, is it safe? And I said, no, it's not safe unless you park on Broad Street and just walk right over there. And we said, get there early and do that, then you'll be okay. Well, the Biden people, Dan, try to put out when Biden was at the Liacouras Center. But that's not true. It was really Josh Shapiro, Obama, and Fetterman, that rally they had in 2022.
They weren't there for Biden?
Well, and even then, looking at the photos that I see, it's pretty hard to tell, even with all that. And that was right before an election, right? They may have come close to what Trump had. So I'm not going to be, like the Wildwood people still insisting Trump had 100,000. You were there. You don't think it's 100,000. I didn't think it's 100,000, but it was 50,000 people. I mean, between the beach, what we saw in Mulligan's alone, not to say that there was any.
Well, there's 80,000 in Mulligan's.
Well, there were maybe 500 people in Mulligan's. The door, squeeze over here. We got to get more in here. We're setting a record, right? And that was over 4 hours, but still, it was a lot of people. I think he could have topped 50,000. I mean, quite an accomplishment to draw on a May Saturday, 50,000 plus to Wildwood. So this whole idea, when Biden went to Girard College, he didn't draw anything. He couldn't draw anything like that. Biden couldn't walk into a cheesesteak place like Trump did, the one over on Oregon Avenue, and be putting in there $500 tip, no tax on tips.
Well, you saw him walk into the Wawa. How'd that go?
Yeah.
No one.
Sherelle Parker had to go, oh, my God.
Escort him to the touchscreen for
Sherelle
order a
Parker's
milkshake.
Giving signals and hand signals over here. And let's walk over. Yeah, and he's going, oh, what's that now? Milkshake? It's an obvious thing. So
staring at the menu board that doesn't have any.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say we don't want to over-represent what Trump did on Saturday. By the way, speaking of that, my mind turns to Scott Presler, Dan. He has said, now what I like about Scott Presler, that Republicans need more of, and that is being an incrementalist, small bites. He's now set a goal by the start of the Republican convention on July 15th. He wants to erase the 537 registration edge that Democrats have in Bucks County. Is that doable? So that's 15 days, I think it's 3 more times through, roughly. Now, you have to realize some of the registrations that got in or were not counted this week, some of them happened over the weekend. So we're probably under 500 is the number. What do you say? Do we turn it before the Republican convention starts that day? We get the news. Scott Presler has turned Bucks County.
So again, when's the convention?
15th of July.
It's going to be really close.
Well,
Might be that day.
Well, we have 3 more, Dan. We've been averaging 180 or so.
Yeah.
So 3 into that, that would be 540.
Please tell us.
That would be 540. This is going to come down to the wire here. But that's his new goal, and he does this so well to set another goal. And he's telling people on his app and all over the place across the country, you need to send 10,000 more postcards to Pennsylvania. Target it to tell them to change their registration or to register as a Republican. 537. I'm going to say it's going to happen that afternoon. We'll know when the Republican convention starts. All right, let's go to George in Roxborough, and George is on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, George, afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. I say Kate Smith.
Okay, tell us why Kate Smith.
Well, she was wonderful, for the Flyers. But I remember when she was on television in Philadelphia every afternoon, every weekday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Live.
She had her own show, Kate Smith?
Yes, yes, she did.
Wow. I didn't know that. Well, Kate Smith is a great American, and after what she's been through, these cowards at the Flyers, who we were told last week, you heard it, they know the warehouse in Chester where they're holding her hostage. Oh. Yeah, Kate Smith definitely deserves a stamp.
NBC, late afternoons, Monday through Friday, from September of 1950 until June of 1954. 4 years of it.
Wow.
Yeah, good for her.
Imagine back-to-back if it were Kate Smith and Larry Ferrari. All right.
Yeah. TV was different then, I guess.
Yeah.
Sitting in front of it watching an organ for 6 hours on a Sunday.
But Ernie Triano would put it there and Wildwood in a heartbeat. I mean, why can't the Flyers just let the statue go? They don't have to endorse it. They don't. I mean, what kind of cowardice is that organization? It's the person that took over for Ed Snyder. I don't know if it's the daughter or whomever, Dan. They just, no, we're going to put her in cold storage.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I just don't understand. You don't have to endorse her. All right, we get it. You don't like Kate Smith. Ridiculous, but okay. Just let her go. Just let her go to Wild. Give pleasure to people.
70 years later, we're canceling the woman.
Yeah, I can imagine Ernie Triano. Oh, man. I think we'd have to have people parachuting in with the...
So Kate Smith does have a stamp. So that's a great one.
Oh, it does have a stamp.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. George, you were right. Kate Smith, deserving, does have a stamp.
There's also a new stamp, a new forever stamp, Dom. The Dom Giordano stamp is put together by Minnie down in Texas.
Oh.
Available at Dom Show 1210 on Twitter.
I have to check during this break, as long as she gets her hair right.
You want some other great answers?
Yes.
Guy Shiraki chiming in. Says, Mr. Rogers taught generations about life, learning, and friendship, and kept teaching and mentoring us even when we were adults from the 1960s all the way through 9/11 and past.
Hey, congratulations, too, to Guy Shiraki, Dan. He is now on Inside Story. He is...
That's awesome.
Yeah, he is our
you guys
newest member.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll be
like
on
tag
together.
Team, tag in and tag out.
Oh, yeah, that would be... Yeah.
You hold the guy to the mat while he climbs the top rope and does an elbow drop.
I'm on this Friday, and the problem in the past, the person on my side one time took out an orange and was calling it Trump and attacking it. Another time opened fire on Trump, and we're both sitting on the Republican side. Oh, God.
Oh, at least you have someone,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Side,
yeah, congratulations to Guy. Well-deserved. He'll add a lot to the show, in my view. All right, 8-5. Did you ever fill out a doodle poll, by the way?
A doodle poll?
First time I had to fill it out.
Is that what we did for...
Yeah. No, every 3 months, they asked us to which Fridays can't we do or can we do. And since there's so many people and it's different times they tape now, you have to put a check in and all this stuff. Oh,
that is a really good idea for the Booker.
Yeah, there you go.
Makes a lot of sense.
A doodle poll.
A doodle poll.
Yes. 855-839-1210. So Inside Story this coming Sunday, I'll be on. Will we talk about the debate? And usually they like to talk locally, but given the enormity of the debate, I think that might be the case. So that will be pretty interesting, Dan. I'm not sure. I have to look who I'm on with yet, but I hope it's not somebody with an orange in their. If I see an orange coming out,
Guy, you got to bring an orange just to troll Dom.
All right, jump in at 855-839-1210. President Obama increasingly involved with the Biden camp. Yeah, Obama doesn't like debates too. Mitt Romney tuned him up in the Denver debate, if you remember, had him on the ropes, and then Candy Crowley of CNN jumped into the ring, Dan. And we'll see if Dana Bash, I don't think Jake Tapper would jump into the ring, but I think that Dana Bash could jump into the ring. Donna Sheeran coming up next, representative out there in the Souderton area. And this is a big story. You know, we're transfixed by Trump, what's going on with the debate. But remember, all politics is local, too. Didn't we learn that with the school boards? Well, now in Harrisburg, they've just voted. If you're in a place like Souderton that kept taxes low, that's what people want. They're telling you, you were a dope. We're going to raise them on you because we want that money for Philadelphia, Norristown, and Reading. And this time, we have the state Supreme Court on our side. Are Republicans going to stop this for once and for all? Just put your foot down. I don't care if there's not a budget for 100 years, Dan. I don't care. What's going to happen? Is the world going to end if there's not a budget in Pennsylvania? Suddenly, Dan, will the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation not be able to spell signs? Oh, they didn't spell the sign right already, right? Do we need a budget to misspell Central? That's the title of an article.
Cerntal?
That's right.
Centertal?
4th of July around the corner, and summer picnics and gatherings, all good reasons to make the call to Captain Chucky's. Let Captain Chucky's help. This just in. Check out the all-new, brand-new, Wild Shrimp Scampi Ravioli. Chucky's teaming up with Vera Pasta, offering lobster, crab, and now wild shrimp ravioli. Remember, order that brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake, the Bang Bang Crab Cake for the 4th. Perfect. Delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick. For those who like to spice it up with some heat, check your store for availability. Perfect time to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, various salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. Captain Chucky's has several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally a crab cake for everybody. Dessert, soup, sides, appetizers. They use only the highest quality ingredients. Ergolf shrimp, a huge hit. Always wild caught, never farm raised. My favorite, those delicious Dom rolls. Get them once, you'll get them every week. So visit Captain Chucky's, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. That's where you go, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're headed to the shore, don't forget Captain Chucky's there too. Visit Captain Chucky's at theshore.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-688-6641.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Hotter temperatures return to the forecast today, but humidity levels stay low. Plenty of sunshine with a high 92. Tonight, humidity increases a bit, partly cloudy, low 72. And for Wednesday, partly sunny, hot and humid with some late-day strong to severe storms, high 95.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, welcome in, everyone. It is Dom time. Boy, it seems like 100 years ago during COVID, we started noticing how well the Souderton School District was doing. And I think it's at that point we talked with Donna Shurin about it. And She later has risen now to become a state representative, Donna Shuren, from the Souderton area. Delaware Valley Journal, if you don't know about it, it's not just that I write for them. It's where you have to go, particularly to find out what's going on in the suburbs. The story we told you last week about Pennsbury High School, how teachers were not submitting lesson plans, Dan. They credited yesterday due to this show and having some guest on. Now they have lesson plan software, and they have to do them. Now you can say small victories, Dom. Yeah, you know what? Over in Pennsbury, how do you like that? Now you have to do the lesson plan. What were you hiding? Why don't you put a picture of me on the top of it? And Donna Shuren at the Delaware Valley Journal has quite a tale to tell of what they're doing in Harrisburg, not just in places like Souderton that are competently run. We saw that during COVID. But any place that keeps taxes low and competency up, you're going to get penalized for that. That's her point, I believe. She joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Donna, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Dom. Always a pleasure.
Well, you know, the Philadelphia Inquirer is not going to see it this way, but from what I've read, I agree with you. The Democrats put forth this 87-page bill, pushed through in 24 hours with no Republican input. And essentially, your claim is, I support it, but I want you to lay it out, that places like Souderton are being penalized for doing a good job, keeping taxes low, competency up.
That's it, in a nutshell. You get these impressive school boards with a variety of background in the private sector. They run for office, and they tackle these astronomical budgets and think outside the box to come up with ways to fund the budget and keep taxes low for the residents. The Souderton School District has a large percentage of senior citizens, so you're always up against it. And while I was on there, and they're continuing in the same fashion, it could be anything, Tom, from naming rights, right? Advertising, contracting with businesses in the area, investment dollars through outside sources to help make up for the lack of state funding. There's always going to be unfunded mandates in education. One of the reasons I ran was to help tackle that. So when the governor released his new funding formula for adequacy funding, he did a look back, on multiple years. And if you were not taxing to the max of the Act 1 index, you are not being rewarded with additional funding. And like the DV Journal quoted me, I think that is outrageous.
Absolutely. And again, I don't know if you'd say it, but I would say it from my experience. Boondoggles in Philadelphia, Norristown, Reading to a degree, a number of places, you're being told now, and the numbers are enormous that Democrats are pushing. You mentioned Josh Shapiro says minimum wage of $60,000 a year for teachers. Well, in this area, it pretty much would be, I think most are making $60,000. But in certain parts of Pennsylvania, that would be above the standard of living, and somebody's got to pay for that.
That's exactly right. It would be a universal push for a starting salary of $60,000. And these are conditions, right? There's always a lot in a bill, Dom, that people aren't aware of. And the suggestions to get your numbers up in order for you to get more money from the state is to spend more. Spend more on support staff, minimum wages of 20, minimum wages of the teachers. You get your spending up, then we'll reward you with more state funding. That's not why I came to Harrisburg,
No,
Tom.
and we all know what that does. The one thing that a lot of, not you, but a lot of representatives, particularly on the Democrat side, point to, that they're bringing home the bacon, meaning more money to their district. Where is that coming from? How are you getting that? And you're right. All it does is reward the wrong things. It's not just the money. It's rewarding the wrong way to govern.
That's exactly right. Local control is about spending within your means. Local control is governing and providing what your district needs adequately to what the taxpayers can bear. Now, we have an influx because of the meatpacking industry, right? Being up here in this area, we have additional needs for English as second language learner teachers. That population is growing in our region. That's a whole nother topic of discussion.
Well, let me ask you, but because that means, anytime I hear meatpacking, I'm friendly with Lou Barletta. I remember that's how he made his name. People that may or may not be here legally, and at least they and their kids don't speak English. And we know when that comes into a school, and look, we don't want to, the kids, it's not on the kids, but the burden when you have people not speaking English inundating your schools, that's a lot.
It is a lot. And you're right. The law hasn't changed. No child left behind, right? That came to us from President George Bush, and that still applies today. So you got to educate them. But you're starting way back in the beginning when they don't speak a word of English. And that's a pretty heavy mandate on schools.
So, Donna Shurin with us. Donna, take us inside now. We're down to crunch time. January 30th, the budget. I don't think it'll happen by then unless there's a miracle. But what are you alerting people? Because, look, we're consumed with the presidential debate. I mean, it's must-see TV, et cetera. Meanwhile, things that impact our life locally, this is the crunch time, the stuff with school vouchers and everything else. What do you want to happen, and what do you see happening at this point?
Well, I think it's realistic. Republicans and Democrats certainly want to see schools funded appropriately. But when you start talking about pumping in $7 billion, $7.5 billion into the education system with no accountability, no way to measure results for that kind of dough, I've got a problem with it, and so do many other members. You don't want to be labeled as somebody that doesn't want to support education, but I also have to stand up and speak for the districts that are doing it right. How can I vote to penalize them and put more money on the backs of the taxpayers in that district when they don't necessarily deserve it? What I found even more ironic, Dom, was here I am holding my hearing, trying to bring attention and awareness to the fact that we've got people in local office doing things correctly. And Governor Shapiro comes into Souderton 3 days before my hearing, unbeknownst to me, unannounced, and goes into one of the senior centers touting his brand new program to invest in seniors, whether it be through transportation, food, housing. And here he is, so out of touch with the high level of senior citizens in Souderton, he neglected to mention that he put them on the chopping block for funding and that they'd all have to be coming up with more money from their property taxes. You just can't make this stuff up.
No, and again, I write for the Delaware Valley Journal. I'm very friendly with the editor and the owners at the national level, Donna, and thank God we have at least one segment there. The Inquirer will only turn their attention to you when they can open fire, not to hear this policy debate. Well, what do you say to Josh Shapiro, too, who thinks he's clever with this? Well, we got all this money in this rainy day fund. Why are we not spending it?
Well, you know what? Republicans plan. Republicans are fiscally responsible. Republicans realize that money is in a rainy day fund for a reason. And, our population is aging profusely, and we are not getting enough people back to work, Dom, to be able to cover the loss in revenue with people not working full-time in many, many segments and many age groups. So by us being the fourth largest state with retirees, because we don't tax pensions, in order to avoid, massive increases in the income tax to be able to pay for our senior services down the road, we have to plan. And a big portion of coming up with this money, I'd say to Governor Shapiro, you want more money in schools? Well, then work with the Republicans to kill all this welfare and Medicaid fraud, which is in excess of $4 billion. When we hosted our last hearing, the topic was cleaning up the fraud in Pennsylvania. And we have massive amounts of able-bodied men from the age of 20 to 40, single, no kids, on our welfare rolls. So if we don't start doubling down and clearing these rosters out and getting these people back to work, eliminate the fraud, and we could have more money for education. But it makes perfect sense to me. Why aren't we focusing on that? If we all come to agreement that that's got to be eliminated, then maybe the debates wouldn't be as intense finding the money for education that we need.
I hear you. Where do we find you, Donna? Where do people go to see what you're up to and as this debate continues?
Oh, well, thank you for asking that. repshuren.com, right? You can find me on Facebook or my website. But, yeah, please tell your listeners to follow me. As you know, I'm the only R living in Montgomery County representing, the 14 seats. So I need everybody to follow me. Help me get my numbers up, right? Everybody's working, doing a job. Nobody's, relaxing on Facebook anymore. But help me get the word out that I'm fighting the good fight here.
You are. And keep Dan informed. If you have any developments, want to come back on before this is over, Donna, we'd love to hear from you.
You got it, Dom. I will take you up on that.
Thanks. Representative Donna Shuren here on Talk Radio 1210. So, look, we're all keyed up. Presidential debate, everything else. In Harrisburg, this is the Super Bowl. You see what they're up to. You have a good school district. What? Well, you don't get any money toward this because you did all the right things. Phone lines, 855-839-1210. You get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. Let's talk about the good folks over at Martin. It's so important to make sure our families have the essentials, food, shelter, and, of course, pure, clean drinking water. There's a lot of news about drinking water these days. Just do what I did and count on Martin Water Conditioning to secure your family's drinking water. The Kinetico system removes all the impurities from your water, what comes out of the tap, crystal clear, all natural water. Not only the best tasting water ever, it provides peace of mind knowing that your family's water is pure and clean. The Martin Water Conditioning family is passionate about water. They will put their 46 years of experience to work for you. Customer service, attention to detail, fantastic. Our guy, Dwayne, wonderful. They'll come out to your house, test your water, recommend solutions that make sense for you. Contact Martin Water Conditioning. Click on martinwater.com or call 800-887-7555. 800-887-7555.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Our next Talk Radio 1210 WPHT Politics and Pints. I'll be hosting #1 international best-selling author, Navy SEAL Jack Carr. That's right, June 25th. Tuesday night, June 25th at the Zlock Performing Arts Center, Bucks County Community College in Newtown, PA. Tickets are on sale now, and they will sell out. Go to 1210wpht.com and get your tickets. And I want to see you there. And if not, remember, I got a guy, and he's a Navy SEAL. See you then.
Hey, this is Ray Didinger. I had the opportunity to open the new Joe Conklin show. It was sensational. It includes all the impressions, Iverson, Merrill, and Mike Barkley. He brought in this whole musical component with a full orchestra. It's really good. His daughter Casey's part of it. His brother's part of it. They can rock it, boy. So you got all the music, plus you got all the comedy. It's a great night.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic High School on June 29th and the Ocean City Music Pier on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Summer's here, and it's time to tackle that to-do list. With an American Heritage Cash Reward MasterCard, get up to 3% cash back at home improvement stores, groceries, and pharmacies. And when the chores are done, treat yourself to a well-deserved vacation, earning 2% cash back on travel, hotels, and ride shares, and 1% on everything else you buy. Apply today at AmericanHeritageCU.org/credit cards. Subject to credit approval. Insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender. The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
How did your son or daughter do in school this year? These summer months is the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Prepare your student for back to school now. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders like high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli, afternoons 3 till 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano's show. You heard Representative Shore. And why are we not reading stuff like this in the Philadelphia Inquirer? You got to go to the Delaware Valley Journal. Let me go to Marianne in Collegeville. Hey, Marianne, welcome in.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to tell you, she's my representative, and she does an excellent job, as does Senator Tracy Penachuk. And I've lived here in this area since 1986, and we always paid higher taxes, and we sent our children to Catholic school and paid the taxes gratefully because Souderton managed the public schools so well, and they continue to do so. They're a beacon in this whole area. And what she was saying about, the elderly, I guess now I have to consider myself one, but my husband and I both work full-time. The tax burden in this area is unbelievable. Montgomery County just voted a new higher increase to taxes, and the school taxes that she's talking about will force many elderly people out of their homes. And it seems to me that Governor Shapiro does want to run for president. I think that he needs to pay a lot of attention to our energy problem here in Pennsylvania, the aging population, as she was speaking to, and punishing successful school districts only drives the state, what do I want to call it? It lowers all of us.
Thank you, Marianne. That's exactly right. But that's what he's about. He's a fraud. He's a Mr. Camouflage. Let's see what he does during this. But the Democrats are not. They're out of control. They want your money like they always did. They're coming for it. Coming up, we're going to talk with Michael Watley, the head of the co-chair of the RNC, upcoming debate. Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Favor to ask of you, please don't give up your summer vacation, all right? The kids, the memories that'll last forever. And I know times are tough, but the Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey makes getting away affordable and possible. Book a June or July midweek stay, and you're going to receive resort credits that you can use on site. That's right, they're going to give you money to use on site in the form of resort credits. And they have the big outdoor heated pool, the heated indoor pool if the weather's bad at the beach. The longer you stay, the more you get back in resort credits. They offer guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette, so it's like renting a shore home but with all the conveniences of a full-service resort, except you don't have to worry about doing the sheets and the towels. You get the amenities of a resort, but you also get the kitchenette, the fridge. Book direct with them for the best rates and to get your resort credits. 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com. This offer is good until July 18th, so act today, grandhotelcapemay.com.
Join Nick Kale and WPHT in supporting the Bend to the Shore Bike Tour on Sunday, July 21st. Ride 30 miles, 65 miles, or just make a donation to the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. Sign up with the code NIC1210 to get $25 off the registration fee. That's Ben, the number 2, Shore.org. benttoshore.org. Promo code NIC1210. The Bend to Shore Bike Tour provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders and is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
Do you know your numbers? What numbers? Your heart health numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your body mass index. They're important, so ask your doctor. Learn your numbers, and if something doesn't seem right with them, see a Deborah specialist at one of our offices throughout South Jersey. After all, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Find a specialist near you at demanddeborah.org.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS has raised the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes in recent years. This hits hard if you're behind on your taxes. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. If you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. All right, just about 48 hours and change away from the spectacular. And joining us to break some of that down and the campaign, somebody who has tremendous expertise at organizing and particularly election integrity. The RNC co-chair, Michael Whatley, joins us again in Philadelphia. Chairman, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be on with you, sir.
Well, tell me, the negotiations with CNN, everything settled, or are we going to say Casey Hunt can't be anywhere near the scene on Thursday night?
Well, I think that she's probably going to put her tail between her legs and run away. But I think right now we are very excited about the conversation that we're going to have on Thursday night. Really, truly. First time, that we've ever had a debate between two presidents that have had 4 years of experience. We got real track records and real records that we can talk about, and we're really excited about the opportunity President Trump has to really lay out his vision for America.
Do you like the idea of the "Are you better off than you were 4 years ago"? Because the mainstream media, Michael Whatley, is straining themselves. NBC just wrote a 5-page report saying, well, it's hard to tell if you're better off than you were 4 years ago.
Well, look, I mean, grocery prices are on average up about 20%. Gasoline prices up over 50%. It costs twice as much for you to buy a house as it did 4 years ago. And real wages have actually gone down. So I think that's a pretty clear answer for the American people. I think if you look at the southern border, we've had 10 million illegal immigrants that we know of who've come across that border. We don't know who they are, where they are, or what they're doing. Under President Trump, it was the most secure border we've ever had. In President Trump's tenure, Russia was in check, China was in check, Iran was in check. Right now, we've got conflagrations going on across the world, the Middle East. We've got Iran openly firing missiles at Israel. Russia has invaded Ukraine and parked nuclear missiles 90 miles off the U.S. coast in Cuba. And China is saber-rattling in Taiwan. So it's really hard for me to imagine anybody making a case that we're better off under Joe Biden.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, let's talk about Biden's prowess. I'm a communicator. You are, too. I don't see him as a very good debater. But we don't want to set the media trap here of the expectations being so low that he may even be practicing just standing up for 90 minutes. If he does that, he's the winner. So give me a sense of how we calibrate this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's not about whether he can stand up for 90 minutes. It's about whether he can defend his record of weakness and failure, and about the opportunity for President Trump to lay out his record of strength and success.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing, too. Let's hear from you, and I'm sure President Trump, I hope he really drills down on this. Their argument is, what's the metric that we use to judge on some metrics, stock market, things of that nature, not horrible. I think the number one thing to me, and probably to you too, is where does my dollar go? What do I do with it? Inflation is the metric here.
Yeah, I could not agree more. And metric is not, it's a great way to describe it, but inflation's not just a statistic. It is something that every American is actually experiencing in real time. The fact that the average American family is spending more than $1,000 a month on basic living necessities, things like groceries and gasoline and housing, than they did 4 years ago, that is very real because they're not making that much more money.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I wanted to turn a little bit because, I've read a lot about you, why you were chosen. I know your background has been very successful. Election integrity with our listeners. Every time you and I talk, I want to get an update. I know there are a lot of things, lawsuits. We had on, I'm not sure if you're following this one, Bruce Castor is a friend of mine and big-time attorney, defended President Trump in the second impeachment. There's a suit here in Pennsylvania because of all the errors, so many errors, that it's hard to know if you can count, according to an act of Congress, that election as legal. And I think it's legit to be trying to get some of these questions answered before the election. We don't want just battles after the results are in.
Could not agree more. And Laura Trump and I had a fantastic Protect the Vote workshop up there in the Philadelphia area just a week ago. And, we're very real about getting the rules of the road set the right way. And we want the right rules of the road in place. And like you said, with all of the lawsuits that we have filed in Pennsylvania and around the country, all of the regulation changes that we're seeking, all of the law changes we're seeking, you got to have them done before voting starts. Because once voting starts, you're locked, right? And then, obviously, once people start voting, we want to be in the room. That's an absolutely critical part of what we're doing with observers and attorneys. We're recruiting them in Pennsylvania and all across the country. People can go to protectthevote.com to learn more about what we're doing. But as you said, we want to make sure that the lawsuits that we're filing, the regulatory changes we're trying to make, are done before the voting starts.
I saw an article today. I know how busy you are. Maybe you didn't see this or maybe you're aware of it. The Biden administration was stopped. They wanted to use school children on Indian reservation schools to help register Democrat-leaning voters to have them send stuff home with elementary school kids. And somehow or another, I'm not sure who blocked it, but people got wind of this, and apparently they had to drop it. Doesn't seem like that's the right way to go if you want to have a fair election.
Yeah, the Biden administration has really, truly tried to open up every bag of tricks that they can find and find ways to use the federal government to win this election. And it really is, not supposed to be engaging in these types of activities. And we're starting to see a lot of pushback on the efforts that they're making. Basically what they want to do is federalize Zuckerbucks. That's a thing that we were able to get pushed out in a lot of states following the 2020 election. The last thing we need is the federal government picking up the project.
Parting question for you, Chairman. How is the mail-in balloting process going? When you can vote early, when it's legal, ballot harvesting where it's legal, and, of course, voting by mail, particularly in Pennsylvania swing states. What's your sense of that?
Yeah, we're getting a lot more traction on this since President Trump has kind of really initiated our Swamp the Vote project. And that really comes down to, as he said, it is great if you want to vote early. It's great if you want to vote by mail. It's great if you want to vote on Election Day. The key is you got to make a plan. You got to execute the plan and deliver your vote. And so we are pushing very hard in Pennsylvania and all around the country where early voting and mail-in voting is legal for people to engage in the process. There's a lot of people who are not going to be able to vote on Election Day. We got to make sure that they vote. So we really support all of the above, and we want to make sure that you come up with a plan and you execute the plan.
Best place to go if people want to volunteer or more information, whatever, where do they go?
2 websites for you. The first one, if you want to be part of our ballot protection team and you want to be part of the election integrity effort, is protectthevote.com. Second, if you want to help turn out the vote and you want to make sure that we're going to get enough votes out in a state like Pennsylvania, go to swampthevoteusa.com, and we'll get you signed up, trained, and deployed.
Absolutely. Chairman, thank you. Thanks very much for the visit today.
Yes, sir. Take care, Dom.
All right, Michael Watley here on Talk Radio 1210, swampthevote.com. Gotta like that. So it seems to me that we're not seeing something like Zuckerbucks. I've just told you the story. It's true. The woman who heads up the Interior Department is Native American. So on these reservation schools, they are going to town. Hey, you're going home for kindergarten? Remember now, bring your lunch money tomorrow, and here. Your mom and dad's, can they vote? We don't care. Just let's take care of that. Give them these forms. Get them to fill this out. Bring it back tomorrow. I'm watching footage as we speak, and something occurred to me about the protests, the mob that wanted to attack Jewish people in L.A. at the synagogue. You should know that Biden and others have said, no, this is out of bounds, and they're not saying what they're going to do about it. And the reason is we already have a law in the books. Do you remember the FACE Act, F-A-C-E? Remember who got charged with that? Remember what happened to Mark Houck? Mark Houck got into it over here at, 12th and Pine at the abortion center. Even Larry Krasner didn't prosecute. He had a little pushing match, a little back and forth with this one guy. And then suddenly the whole world shows up at his house at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, pointing guns at his wife and kids. Well, these clowns clearly, under the FACE Act, the last 24 hours, it's more and more has come out on this, have no right to even protest at a synagogue. You can't go there and do that under this federal law. Just the same act that made it sacrosanct to be doing anything around an abortion clinic. So here we go. Abortion clinic. Even Krasner doesn't prosecute, send the federal government with automatic weapons to terrorize children. Synagogue, rabid anti-Semitic mobs attacking that. Well, we'll say it's not the right thing to do, but we're not going to be sending anybody anywhere to bother them. We're scared to death of them. So a piece today made the point, Charlottesville, we talked about yesterday. That finally Snopes gave it up, and Dan had a theory why, which was a good one. They gave up the notion that this was a fact, that Trump said, yeah, the Nazis are very fine people. And we played for you ad nauseum, and they finally admitted, no, that's not a fact. It's going to be interesting to see if Biden is called on that on Thursday night, because that's why he said he ran for president. Maybe he shouldn't run this time since that's no longer a fact. But the bottom line is these Charlottesville types of attacks, maybe not quite on as big of a scale, they happen a lot. And most of the time, there are these elements that are pro-Gaza, pro-Hamas. They're attacking Jews. They're attacking everybody else. And they're doing it repeatedly. And all we get from Biden is, no, don't do that. That's wrong. What about the FACE Act? What about tracking? There's also various belief out there that the LAPD were told to stand down, not to confront them and drive them out of there. FACE Act, FACE. It's funny how that works. Mark Houck, come after him with the full force of the FBI, etc. These mobs that are out of control and just see that they want to go after Jewish people and synagogues. They just can't get enough of it. That's what the law was written for. It was to stop these mobs from doing this type of activity. Every one of them should be arrested, and they ought to be charged under that. The penalties are rather severe. It was put in to stop what we saw in Los Angeles. It wasn't put in to arrest Mark Houck 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning with his wife and kids. This is what we're living under. I mean, if they had arrested Houck and arrested this, I still don't think it's right, but okay. But that's what the law is. It says you can't be doing this stuff. And the intention is to say, no, we know how serious this is. You're not going to go down this path. All right, we got a great side question today. Alex Trebek, stamp, forever stamp, coming his way. I think he's been dead 5 years, which is hard to believe. I think it's a 5-year window. Who would you like to see on a stamp? All right, we have a lot. I'm telling you, Dan, someday Springsteen's going to be on that stamp. You'll see it, without a doubt. Could they really put Howard Stern on a stamp? Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean,
if he kept his relevance high, possibly, but he's fallen off. I'm sorry,
well, that's true. That's right.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
Ryan Seacrest exceeded him in popularity. That's
the
why
Ryan Seacrest.
He deserves one.
The Ryan Seacrest stamp, all-time captain of the media.
2024 Dick Clark, Dom.
Oh, it's coming out for Dick Clark?
No, I'm just saying he is Dick Clark for 2024. Like he's this generation's Dick Clark.
Maybe. I interviewed Dick Clark in person. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see that. Yeah. He actually told me, hey, kid, watch me run this down. You know, I said, can you do it in 30 seconds? Can I do it in 30 seconds? And he did some commercial. I wish I still had it.
We got Coach K, by the way, the dice.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
no way. That fraud, that weasel. Hey, ask that guy if he wants him on there because of how he, as a weasel, Dan, at Duke, went after the lacrosse team.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did they do? Now, I'm not saying every activity of theirs was the good housekeeping seal of approval, but they didn't do anything criminal. Not Coach K. By the way, Dan, he always told us about his program. When he recruited Kyrie Irving, did he ask him if the world is flat? Because that's what Kyrie Irving says, the world is flat. And he got into Duke. Just saying, maybe the turnaround jumper is more than earth science. You think Kyrie Irving would pass some geology class saying the world is flat? Yeah. He scored 40 the other night.
Yeah, Duke's not a high prestigious university with academic standards.
No, we don't need that.
No.
855. Maybe he can work on spelling signs here. 855-839-1210. Jump on board right now.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk premium. These are the top-of-the-line appliances that dream kitchens are made of. If you're planning an investment like this in your home, where you buy is as important as what you buy. At National Appliance Warehouse, we're committed to delivering the superior buying experience you deserve. Our showroom features beautifully displayed premium appliances of every major brand, including highly sought-after Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove. Our team of gurus is well-versed at guiding you as you navigate the same appliances you'd find in the most magnificent homes and kitchens of cooking enthusiasts. And the National Appliance Warehouse team has the expertise to properly deliver and install your stunning new appliances.
The amazing 4th of July mega sale starts now at National Appliance Warehouse. Purchase a qualifying Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliance package and choose 3 years of additional warranty or a rebate up to $2,500. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Virtua Health, real patients, real doctors, real complex cases. Take one.
Open heart surgery, tear in my aorta.
The most complex cases come to us at Virtua Health.
I'm sure I wouldn't have been here without you.
Being a 45-year-old, not being able to walk up one flight of stairs, I had no idea I was in heart failure.
Virtua is a premier heart failure center in South Jersey.
They changed my life. It's truly a blessing.
Want to follow our stories? Go to virtua.org. Virtua Health, here for good.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats? Or the joy of early bedtimes? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, Clementon. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Super sharp producing from Dan here. Wow, it's on a Tuesday already here.
Yeah, right.
We'll play you a little bit from CNN. Remember yesterday we had to interrupt, and I told you how Casey Hunt, whatever the Hunt woman's name is, could have handled it saying, look, I need you to answer the question about Biden. And then, you want to comment on why you think this is unfair. You agreed to it, she could have said, though. Why did you agree to it if you think these moderators are that unfair? I'll even stipulate you're saying they're unfair. Could have given her a chance. They had a drag queen on, I guess it was yesterday, because I saw the clips this morning, and how the drag queen is not fact-checked, yet the Trump person can't make a comment about Jake Tapper. But someone's going to have to explain to me another big fundraiser for Democrats with Dr. Jill Biden last night in Philadelphia. And I'll tell you where in Philadelphia. $450,000. Carole King sang. Brendan Boyle was there. The Dean of Decency was there, too. Oh, the two decency. And Ed Rendell, who I like, attended. But it was held in Chestnut Hill. Now, these are the people, Dan, the Gerber family. No, the Case family. Jen and Greg Case at their home in Chestnut Hill.
At their home?
At their home in Chestnut Hill with us. Yeah, it must be palatial.
Impressive, yeah.
These people bother me because just a little pickleball noise and the world ends. Yet they want progressive after progressive. You know why? They're insulated. You're in Chestnut Hill. You're not worrying about rampant crime and everything else. So you can be holier than thou. Bring in Dr. Jill Biden, yuck it up, who said, yeah, let's stop this talk about age. Donald Trump is almost as old as Joe. I mean, how many times do we have to say, I saw Bernie Sanders at the hip hop festival with Bowman and AOC. He looked a lot better, sounded a lot better than Joe Biden. He's about 84. He had a heart stent thing. Remember that during the campaign, the whole thing. And he's a lot better than Joe Biden. Yeah. I don't know if, by the way, Bowman put on quite a performance, rolling up the sleeve to show the bicep. By the way, Dan, a point of order. Not that I can turn to
this
you.
Is political rally.
I know. I don't know if I can turn to you on this question. I may have to tag in somebody else. You know, the appropriate thing, if you're working out, is not to show your arms anymore.
Wait, that's insulting.
Right. It's the core. It's the core that you show. So I thought he'd be showing that if that's what he was.
Wait. When you're working out,
if you're in shape and your body built,
no, you show the arms.
I think that's
curls, you know?
I think that's passé.
Pump it up a little bit.
That's the Charles Atlas or something.
So you're wearing cutoffs to the gym to show off your beautiful pecs.
It's the six pack that you want to show, and I don't know if Bowman wants to show what the deal was.
Did you make your pecs jump like Terry Crews?
No. All right. But these Chestnut Hill people, Carole King comes in too, and telling us that they're for the little guy. You know, as they carted off 450,000 yesterday with Dr. Jill Biden. Way to go, Cases, in Chestnut Hill. The Krasner voters probably, you know, because they don't have to suffer any of this of what the rest of the world is going through. But the message is not Biden's age. It's just he's always been stupid, and now he's really declined. It's him. And the idea of comparing him to Trump as far as energy, as far as awareness, as far as just humor is stunning. Rather than having the two of them end-to-end, Dan, I would rather they have the two really close together. I'm a big believer in the closer you are together in a debate, the more you get the juices going. You know, that's what I want. Bigger the audience, the more of that. My favorite debate of all time that I was involved in, not as a moderator, was with Admiral Joe Sestak over at Cheney. You know, the one we don't have to play it today, where he said he had a 90-year-old woman who couldn't vote because guys like Dom want her to have voter ID. And I said, well, let's go and take care of that right now. And he goes, we already did. Oh, man. And if you had seen I don't know if you have the video of it. I know you have the audio. If you had seen my face when he said that, it was like, oh, babe, we're going to be here a long time with this one, Joe. All right. Phone lines, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. So to the question, how would you, I think Trump just has to say, channeling Ronald Reagan or himself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? They think they can answer that. The Biden people think they can honestly say, yes, to the average American, you're better off than you were 4 years ago. Based on what? What's the metric? Inflation is what brings down countries. And what this guy has created is baked in, and he's going to continue to do it because energy is at the root of it. So who is it that is better off now than they were 4 years ago? Only a small segment of the population. Most people, even if they've gotten pay raises, it only keeps up with the rate of inflation. It doesn't give you more wealth. It just lets you keep chugging along. It's a pretty obvious thing. Isn't that the only thing really that counts rather than all this macro information he wants to give? So how will he answer it? Well, if Trump goes with that, Biden's going to talk about the stock market. He's going to say, you just want to give tax breaks to the wealthy. He's not going to answer that question. Now, will they pull him back in? Not sure. It'll be so obvious that we need to get an answer to that. In fact, I would spend, Dan, I'm not making this up. If I were in charge of this debate, I would spend the first half hour, just out of 90 minutes that I have, on one thing. Are you better off than you are 4 years ago? And I go back and forth with them, and I let them go back and forth with each other a good bit here and try to referee it to get to the bottom for the American people. On what basis are you better off now than you were during the Trump years? What's your metric? What are you citing? And I just think the greater proportion of Americans have to agree they're not better off. How could they be with this inflation? 855-839-1210. Let's go to Gary in Newtown, who's been waiting. Hey, Gary, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Dom. Good afternoon, Dan. I'm pretty sure that if I gave my answer of Bruce Springsteen, Dan might want to move off, but I'm pretty sure that this one may want you to move out of here too, which would be Caitlyn Jenner for your side question and a stamp.
Well, no, I don't have any objection to Caitlyn Jenner, but why do you think worthy of a stamp?
Well, because that's where we are today. I mean, like, why wouldn't it be Caitlyn Jenner or Leah Thomas? Because when someone opens this up 100 years from now and go, why are we giving stamps to people that are claiming to be one thing when they were born something else, and allowing Title IX to be eradicated just because that's the way they want it?
Okay, I got you, but I don't think Caitlyn Jenner's been. I'm just shocked. Bruce Jenner was the world's greatest athlete. It was unbelievable. I mean, it's a stunning story to me still, but I don't think Caitlyn Jenner is Leah Thomas. I don't see that. You know, I mean, that's a choice. I don't think it's an advocacy of anything. Okay, coming up, 855-839-1210. You get on board. I mentioned we had on a great guest, Donna Sheeran from Saturday, making a point. What's going on in Harrisburg right now? They're saying if you have a well-run school district, you're keeping costs down, et cetera, you're going to be penalized under what they're up to. And the Philadelphia Inquirer's got like 8 printed pages today. They're scared to death if the voucher system goes through, some kind of school choice, then kids that are not in very low-performing schools, but in mediocre schools, could take advantage of it. What is it with progressives, and what is it with it is this? They have to hold hostages. They have to hold parents and kids hostage in the Philadelphia public schools. They can't convince them of their ideas. The only way they have them is don't let them escape these monstrosities called the public schools in many of the big cities. They're hostages. You got to keep them there. If you let them go, then what's going to happen? Only those whose parents don't know enough or care enough or whatever are going to be in those schools. Then what are we going to do? All right, 855-839-1210. You get in now on Talk Radio 1210.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating. Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems. Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No way.
It's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
This July 4th, hear the boom of the fireworks, the sizzling of your grill, and the sigh of joy at the first sight of your brand new kitchen. Thanks to dynamite deals at Colonial Marble and Granite. Now, get a free tile backsplash when you purchase a marble, granite, or quartz countertop during our Independence Day sale. Visit any Colonial showroom to discover our dazzling variety of natural and engineered stone and take advantage of these deals. But hurry, while liberty is everlasting, our sale ends on July 8th. Restrictions apply. Visit colonialmarble.net for details.
It feels great relaxing at home.
You know what feels even better? Turning our home into a big piggy bank with a fixed-rate home equity loan from First Harvest Credit Union. Rates are as low as 5.99% APR. We can get the cash we need for a new car, the kids' tuition, a kitchen remodel.
You're right.
Of course I'm right.
Get details and apply online at firstharvestcu.com/home equity. Membership restrictions apply. Rate based on individual credit analysis is accurate as of May 1st, 2024 and subject to change. Equal housing lender. Insured by NCUA.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. If you have a fear of the dentist, you're not alone. My friend and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz, is known for helping you overcome your fear and anxiety. Patients have come to Dr. Bentz from all over Pennsylvania, South Jersey, some even farther, from New York, Florida, even Washington State. One of our listeners have been putting off much-needed dental work, get this, for 8 years due to fear and anxiety. After hearing me talk about how great Dr. Bentz was with fearful patients, she reached out, made an appointment, traveling from Ocean City, New Jersey to East Norriton just for Dr. Bentz. She still comes back for routine care. That's how good Dr. Bentz and his entire staff are. They go out of their way to help your fear and anxiety. Now's the time to call Dr. Robert Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group. See the Bentz difference. Make that appointment today. Visit BentzDentalGroup.com or call 610-272-6949, 610-272-6949.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra on a tribute to Philly sports fans on the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to JoeConklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Hotter temperatures return to the forecast today, but humidity levels stay low. Plenty of sunshine with a high 92. Tonight, humidity increases a bit, partly cloudy, low 72. And for Wednesday, partly sunny, hot and humid with some late-day strong to severe storms, high 95.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. As far as one occurred to me, Dan, about who should be on a stamp, I'm surprised if he's not. Sullenberger, the pilot. Imagine a guy, Dan, you're on board and says, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to land on the Hudson. I made up my mind. Sit back. It'll be a smooth landing. And made sure every single person got off. That is one of the most both skillful and daring, audacious things you could possibly think of. I remember the day that he pulled it off. Yeah, definitely a stamp. And our buddy Minnie in Texas, you got to say, that is a great stamp, Dan. The one with my picture on it.
Looks good, right?
I have to tell full confession. Some of that is Photoshop. The guys that did it did a great job. It was for a magazine cover.
You're not supposed to reveal that, Tom.
No, I am. I'm honest about these things because nobody can look like that. Dan, I'm looking at that saying, who's that guy?
Yeah?
Yeah, they fixed every little.
I mean, while we're on the topic, you also have Tony in the chat saying, "Look, you look good with your new bangs. Did you change your hairpiece?" So See, this is proof you're honest where you need to be. Look, you were photoshopped there, but you also have real hair.
Well, it was photoshopped in. They were coloring the hair and doing little things with the hair. Just the way they made I don't think I had that pocket square quite as good as they did it. That's how good it was. That's what you need when you take a picture. Okay, so 855-839-1210, you will get on board. One of the things that we've been talking about today, we have added facts. They brought in today for a bail hearing and bail denied, or was it what yesterday's was $10 million. These two people that are here illegally in Houston that allegedly murdered the 12-year-old girl. And one of them, Dan, had on their ankle bracelet. I'm not sure about both. The ankle bracelet is what you get from the Biden people at the border so that you'll allegedly report to when you're supposed to report for your asylum hearing. Did that give us any level of protection, this maniac walking around with a ankle bracelet? And the other thing that came out, sadly, is they assaulted her for hours sexually before they murdered her, allegedly, and dumped her into a creek. 12-year-old girl. Now, this in some way, shape, or form is going to come up during the debate. Biden's counter is going to be, well, you Republicans, if you had given me the money, I don't have this, that, and the other. Is Trump going to drill down and precisely state the Trump policy, what he did precisely to keep America safe and to keep people in Mexico rather than allow them to come into the country? And the thing that's the most infuriating, I'm watching Fox the last 2 days, they keep on saying, well, the DA thinks this should be eligible as a death penalty case. And that's in Texas. If you can't get the death penalty for this and do it within a relatively brief period of time in Texas, then what in the world is going on in this country? Do we actually have the death penalty anymore? So imagine, assault her for more than hours, rape her, assault her, kill her, throw her in the creek. The guy's got the ankle bracelet on. Just stalking her, wandering to downtown. They see her just stalking around. Why? Because they're here illegally. They don't have anything else to do. And we're supposed to say this is fear-mongering. You're just zoning in on the worst. You're blaming all immigrants. I'm not blaming all of anything, but significant numbers of people are here that are committing crimes that we don't need. Second of all, we don't need more people coming into the country illegally, whatever their intention is, do we? Why would we want that at this point? Without a proper asylum hearing and all the things that should go into it. Are these legitimately asylum cases, or are they more likely economic reasons? People are coming here, they want to, and that's, you understand that with a family. But that doesn't mean it's in our interest to allow more people to come into the country. We already have enough, more than enough. Which gets into the debate on Thursday. And I think they will ask President Trump, well, you've been talking about deporting these people. How would you do it? You know, and they just can't conceive of the idea that we would be able to methodically reduce the number of people that are here illegally into the country. They right away started. You're going to go kicking in doors, door after door? No, I think there's a lot of people out there hiding in plain sight. You just heard, we had on Donna Shurin today, who is the representative out in Souderton, Dan. She said, we got the meatpacking industry there. You know what that means. And I knew exactly what she meant. You have people coming there illegally. They go to the schools. Kids don't speak English. You have to start from scratch. So how hard would it be? I'm not saying to round up everybody that's in the country here illegally. How hard would it be to start to cut down on the numbers? And I think that's what Trump ought to say. And he ought to say he's doing it for the American people who are being undercut by this, and then list the reasons how they're being undercut. Is that a dangerous position? Well, with Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, You know they're going to be ready for that. They're going to come out firing that this somehow or another is racist or lacking in compassion. And that's when Trump has to point to these names, Laken Riley, this little girl in Houston, the things we've seen just over the last number of weeks, with details. And be ready to rebut Biden saying, well, you told the Republicans not to allow, you're responsible. You didn't want the border reform that I asked for in order to stop this. Now, this is not an impossible task to break Biden on this, but that's where it's going to go. All righty, 855-839-1210. Watch tomorrow and Thursday, too. I think some big Supreme Court cases are going to drop, not just the immunity case. There's an abortion case, and there's this January 6th case. I think the Supreme Court is going to rule in favor of some of these plaintiffs who were charged with obstruction, but not insurrection. January 6th group. And if that happens, that plays into Trump's January 6th case with Jack Smith. So this could bleed into the debate big time. 855-839-1210, you get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all I need you to do is just push pound 1210. Coming up, Dan Time with Dom, more of your calls. Great side question today. Alex Trebek gets the forever stamp, certainly worthy of it. Who is it that you would put on a stamp? And I have to tell you, I'm trying to think of anyone living. Yeah, we mentioned Allen West, of course. Or heroes that have died protecting us, but maybe we don't know. I'm talking about a major public figure in the military. Who is it that's out there that you think of when you think of someone in the military now? Many times we think of the politically correct, the woke military, as opposed to those that we would honor. But if you make it onto a stamp, Willie Mays just passed. Willie Mays will be on a stamp. He might have already been on some in some shape, way, or form. Certainly worthy of it. Who else? 855-839-1210. Judge Marchand has partially lifted the Trump gag order. It's amazing, I guess, for the debate. Jack Smith is trying to place a bigger gag order on Trump in the documents case as we speak. So this debate, some of it is cutting toward Trump on Thursday. As far as the rules, they're going to help Trump on this. And I think he sees the error of what he did in 2020. He's not going to be full court pressing Biden on this. He doesn't have to. But he does have to hit home on the damage done to Americans by the two I's, inflation and illegal immigration. 855-839-1210. Well, June is Men's Health Month with Rescue Natural Supplements. Life is busy. It can be hard to focus on your health. Thankfully, Rescue Men's Health Supplements have the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that provide men with what they need. Rescue supplements can help boost testosterone, promote a healthy prostate, as well as support energy and vitality for an active life. And for the month of June, when you buy one of their Men's Health single bottles, you'll receive a second totally free. Just use the code STRENGTH for the buy one, get one offer. To order, call a Rescue Product Consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Or you can shop online by visiting res-q.com, res-q.com. Discover the amazing benefits of Rescue Natural Male, Prime RX, Super Prostate, and more. Again, use the code STRENGTH for the buy one, get one free offer on Rescue Men's Health products. Shop res-q.com and do it today.
Join Team Kale and Company once again this year for the Bend to Shore Bike Tour on Sunday, July 21st. From Philly to Atlantic City, you can do the ride or just donate to support the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. That's shore.org. Let's show everyone how WPHT and Odyssey supports law enforcement. Bend to Shore is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. SBBCF provides financial relief for the family families of fallen and injured first responders and supports the Police Youth Alliance, which fosters a positive relationship between police and youth. Sponsored by Gelman Law. Need a criminal defense attorney or personal injury? Visit GelmanLawFirm.com.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
With Dom.
That's right, it's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan Time with Dom. And Dom, I'm going to start first off by pushing out some exploitation of CNN, who tries to say they're an arbiter of fair news, unbiased news. And you have people like Jake Tapper calling Trump Hitler at one point and now acting like he can be an unbiased debate moderator. But then also the topics that they discussed, Dom, very unbiased, like today, bringing on a drag queen, and let's see how she's welcomed on by CNN's Sarah Sidner.
The Queens are calling on lawmakers to pass a National Equality Act. It could amend the 1964 Civil Rights Act to provide explicit protections for LGBTQ individuals. Joining me now is drag queen and activist Bridget Bandit. Thank you, darling. Wow, what a wonderful look you have this morning. I know that took you some time.
Yeah, so Sarah Sidner welcoming on a drag queen today, Bridget Bandit, who also explained that it's not sexual in nature, and but welcoming in her by talking about her look and trying to act like, Dom, is this a serious news story that CNN should be having drag queens on as guests? I don't know.
I'm sure they're big in that community. That's about the only place they're making any news.
Yeah, but you would think in the lead up to a debate, you would try to present yourself as a serious news organization, and it doesn't seem they're trying too hard to do that. Ariana Grande, Dom, actress, singer, facing some backlash when she was asked, it's almost like one of our side questions. She was at an event with parents and children. This is a bit before she became super famous as an adult star, as she is now, but in between her transition between, Nickelodeon actress and singer, she was asked who she would want to have dinner with, Dom, and this is her answer.
Mom and Dad, is it okay if I give the real answer? And they were like, sure, I guess. What's the answer? And I was like, Jeffrey Dahmer's pretty fascinating. I think I would have loved to have met him.
Wow.
Maybe with a third party or something involved. But I have questions. I have a lot to...
So the internet's been set ablaze now. Ariana fans even attacking her, saying that's vile and disgusting to say that she'd want to have dinner with Jeffrey Dahmer. Dom, your thoughts? Would you want to sit down with a serial killer like that?
I did not do that, but I did sit down with a killer, Dan, in Trenton State Jail over there in Trenton, New Jersey. Capano, the guy from Delaware that did it. Mary, I forget the name of the woman.
What was that like? Were you like scared for your life sitting there? Or were you intrigued by how this person's mind works? And
no, I did it. There were a lot of things going on. I was just thinking, of course, why can't we kill this guy right here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is this guy still sitting here?
Back to your
able
point
talk
about
to me?
the death penalty down there.
Yeah,
in Texas.
and he was okay for most of it. Then toward the end, he started to pivot toward surely I could see he didn't do it. Oh man, that was not good.
Something you might be as passionate about on your thoughts about the death penalty is your hate for Ben Affleck, Dom.
Yes.
But I'm going to present to you a situation in which you might agree with him.
Which one more, Dan, is more objectionable? Ben Affleck or pineapple on a pizza?
Or the opposition to the death penalty.
Yeah. Put
those three together. So, Dom, Ben Affleck pulls into his house, right?
Yeah.
And he's getting pictures. Paparazzi are flooded. It's J-Lo's house, actually.
Right.
I think they're going through a messy, breakup here. And not in a good mood, but he gets out of his car and addresses photographers who are flashing lights at him as he's pulling into a dark driveway.
You guys are doing. Do you understand? Yeah. I can't see. You're going to get somebody hurt doing this. Jesus Christ, my daughter's coming down here. If you flash the lights on her, you're putting her in danger. Do you understand that? Yeah. Understood, Ben.
So do you agree with Ben Affleck that he has a reason to be kind of upset here with photogs taking pictures as he's entering into a driveway and causing him to go blind? Thoughts?
Yeah, probably on that one. Yeah, I would say there's a reasonable thing. I'm thinking of Princess Di and this type of stuff. But
yeah, that's a good point.
I would say, though, you bring a lot of this on yourself. He's a bad guy. He's a no talent that... although, I would say he's pretty good, the role he plays in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's good at playing a Bostonian. Is that what he's playing there? Yeah.
No, he's playing a guy from New York.
Is it New York?
Yeah, but I have to give him credit on that one. But mainly...
This Good Will Hunting, he's pretty good.
I mean, who's dumber? I think Matt Damon is dumber than Ben Affleck. I've always thought
close.
that. Yeah.
It's pretty close. And a question, Dom. WIP's Midday Show asked us today, and I'm just curious where you stand. It's 47.9% to 52.1%, so very close poll. Will Bryce Harper go down as the greatest athlete in Philadelphia sports history? We're seeing another top three, consideration for MVP this year, and it seems like he's doing it with his eyes closed. Is he going to go down as the top athlete in history, Dom?
No, that is just preposterous. Mike Schmidt is always going to be a better baseball player than Bryce Harper. Wilt Chamberlain is beyond iconic. And
so does that anger you when you hear something like this?
Yeah,
because
it's
if people didn't get to witness Mike Schmidt, then
right.
He's kind of being forgotten to history, and he's the best third baseman all the time, right?
That's right. When you're the best third baseman of all time, Dan, how do you beat that? And Wilt is the best iconic figure. And how do you beat? There's a couple of Eagles that are just
person I was also reading about and his very questionable opinions that he has, but conservative leaning, that being Steve Carlton.
He's nuts. He's a survivalist.
Yeah. You're like living in a compound in Colorado.
Yeah, he's out
but
there.
Do you think because of his off the field, personality issues, is that why he's not remembered as he's the greatest lefty of all time, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, arguably, yeah. Yeah, unhittable, yeah.
He's not considered, like when we talk about the top Philadelphia athletes, nobody ever seems to bring up Steve Carlton anymore.
Bryce Harper goes all out with the fans and everything else. There's a lot to admire there. And he is a great player, but, we're talking legendary here.
Yeah. That's all I got for Dan time, though, Dom.
All righty, thank you. Dom's Money Melody coming up in about 18 minutes or so, but your calls at 855-839-1210. We will get you on board. The thing that is bothering shows like Morning Joe and others, I'll play you a little bit of that coming up. We're not supposed to say, I mean this legitimate. I'm telling, it's not a talk radio thing, isn't anything. And I'm not sure. I'm trying to get to the bottom of exactly how would you do this. But I think Joe Biden is going to be provided Ritalin, Adderall, something like that. It's a combination drug that would energize, but also focus. I don't think there's any doubt about it. That's what they're doing. It will come out over the next year or two. The question is this: if he is, and people knew that definitively, what difference would it make? I tell you, the difference it would make is he can't do that day to day. It'd be too dangerous. They're not going to do that. So if he needs that to appear to focus, doesn't that tell us what he's like day to day?
Is there any way that this might be smelling salts from like hockey that you see in the guy? Maybe yesterday I was taking up pictures from Getty Images for our podcast, and I wanted something about what can Joe be on, so I searched smelling salts, and what you see is a bunch of hockey players with the same exact squint that you see with Joe Biden, the angry Joe when he first comes to stage and he's allegedly beaming lasers from his eyes. That squint is the same squint you get after taking smelling salts. So maybe he's being woken up by those?
I don't think they would last, though, for 90 minutes.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You need to be injected, probably. So I'll give you more details, a little bit from Morning Joe. The argument being, you guys, this is all you dabble in, conspiracy. Where's the evidence? Well, the evidence is State of the Union. The evidence is daily how Biden is. The evidence is he never should have been doing this job. He was a dope, and now he's a dope with cognitive issues. There's no doubt. So who is really running the country? We've been through that before, and they want to stay in the White House. That's why, unless, Dan, it is a complete collapse, Biden's still going to be the nominee after Thursday. Not only that, does Trump really want another nominee than Biden? I mean, who do we want in the ring there? Dan, would you rather face Gavin Newsom?
No, but I think we need to be prepared for it.
I don't even know in some way. I guess I would rather face Kamala Harris. I can't even imagine a debate between Kamala Harris and Trump. Oh, my God. 855-839-1210. You get on board right now with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like, 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If it's been a minute since you've considered an Infiniti, now's the time to check out the Bush Auto Group. At Bush Infiniti of Westchester, we have exceptional offers just for you. Enjoy rates as low as 4.9% for 36 months on Infiniti certified pre-owned vehicles. Plus, every new Infiniti comes with 3 years free maintenance. Don't wait. Visit in-store today at Bush Infiniti of Westchester or online at infinityofwestchester.com. Philly rides with us.
Designers, excavators, engineers, architects, listen up.
What are you doing? We're working here.
If you want to save time, effort, and money on your next underground utility project, start using Pennsylvania One Call System's Coordinate PA application. Coordinate PA is the next generation of utility coordination that allows you to easily transfer and manage your complex projects from start to finish, all the way from the designer to the excavator. Be prepared for your next underground utility project with Coordinate PA.
Makes sense.
Visit pa1call.org to learn more.
Don't walk around with t-shirts and cover-ups at the pool or the beach this summer. Lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days with NJ Diet. That's nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. Lose weight the natural way, quickly and safely. Locations close by or available worldwide with live online video consultations. Get slimmer without any shots. Call 855-5NJ-DIET to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days guaranteed. NJDiet.com. Lose the weight for good.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. The summer is heating up, and so are the savings at United Tire and Service. They take care of all makes and models, and right now you'll get the best pricing for your summer road trips on all their major tire brands. If your AC isn't cutting it, they can help there too. From new tires to state inspections, their highly skilled technicians handle it all. Now through June 30th, get the best tire pricing anywhere. Plus, get all the manufacturer rebates. Find the location nearest you at UnitedTire.com. UnitedTire.com. Remember, don't drive alone. Drive United.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-578-2415. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-578-2415 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. That's 800-578-2415. To see if you qualify, that's 800-578-2415.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, hour 3, Dom Giordano Show. Dom's Money Melody coming up. You can win a great prize. Have a lot of fun with that. Here is Jacques Lemaire, one of the add-ons to Morning Schmo and Mika, talking this morning about this conspiracy. This really has hit home with them on CNN, MSNBC. How do we know Biden is jacked up on anything? Well, the answer is we don't, but there's a lot of evidence of a different State of the Union, and you're going to see it again tomorrow night, and really, really big events versus the day-to-day Biden. How does that happen? What is it that could be doing that? Here's what Jacques Lemaire said.
The arguments are bad faith and bad politics. I mean, it's such pathetic efforts here to spin these unfounded conspiracy theories about drug tests or the like. And then, of course, also by doing so, you're trying to set up an escape hatch for your own candidate who has real concerns. Donald Trump is only a few years younger than Joe Biden. Donald Trump has also not done any debates this whole primary season. He's going to be rusty. Usually that's just a problem for an incumbent.
Yeah, but but hold on a second, Jonathan. He did get Joan Rivers' vote. In fact, Joan Rivers told him specifically, he said, that she voted for him. So he's got that. I mean, she had passed a few years before, but still, he says, he remembers Joan Rivers telling him personally that. And you take one gaffe after another. You take the World War II gaffe. He doesn't even know that World War II is over. He keeps thinking he's running against Barack Obama. He talks about how badly he beat Barack Obama in elections. He never ran against Barack Obama. We could go down the laundry list, but he is in an alternative reality much of the time. I mean, we joke about the sharks and the electric motors. A lot of that is just him delaying, using delay tactics, because sometimes he seems very forgetful up there on stage.
All right. Again, not going to buy it, Joe. People see the difference between Trump and Biden. You know, even Trump's mangled stuff is consistent with energy, with the stuff he did in 2016. He's funny. Biden is incoherent. Biden is the one that's freezing up. So we're told we shouldn't be speculating about any of this if we see a different Joe Biden come out of the box on Thursday night. I happen to think it is legitimate. Now, going wild and, you know, even for a joke saying cocaine or something like that. But it seems to me, obviously, there is something that on special occasions they're using with Joe Biden. And what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that day to day, he just cannot do what a president has to do. And there are a lot of powerful people in the White House who are very happy that they get a shot to have a free lane to exercise more power than they ever would have with a president who was actually in charge. All right, we're going to see tonight pretty clearly Bowman, the hip-hop congressman, maybe from the Bronx and maybe not, Dan. It doesn't even appear he's actually from the Bronx. You know, his district, her district, AOC might be, get defeated. He's going to be defeated soundly by any instinct, by any polling that we see out there. So he would be the first member of the squad, even though, he is not the original Fab Four to be defeated.
Well, can you be a male and be in the squad? I
I
thought
thought
you had to be female.
I think they made
There was requirements.
Yeah, he legitimately is in there. They've pretty much said AOC is the decider. That's why she was there with
The
him.
arbiter of the squad.
Yes, she's the arbiter. She's the captain. So the argument the media is trying to make is this progressive hold is losing attraction to people. I don't see it that way yet. I just think they have to be defeated every single day. I see them all over the place, here in Philadelphia, here in Pennsylvania, nationally. They've taken over the Democrat Party. They have Joe Biden do what they want. His platform is their platform. So are we seeing some, finally, revulsion at this? I mean, I see a middle school in New Jersey. We talked about this briefly yesterday. More detail out there now. Middle school. Teacher gives a test trying to distinguish terrorist groups, Palestinian Liberation Army, Shining Path, and ISIS. And he gives some of the things that ISIS has done, and you have to identify ISIS. The school apologizes because the Muslim educators group in Jersey has a fit that you were identifying ISIS as a terrorist group.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Wow. Sure, middle school. And they go on this long thing, shouldn't have put that question in an exam. It's inflammatory. And I thought it was a pretty clever question. It wasn't just, are they a terrorist group? They were trying to distinguish all these terrorist groups. Which one has this lane of terrorism? And it's true. I mean, it's factual. The things they were charged with, that's what they're known for the most. So progressivism is not going to go, it has spasms. It comes back. We see it again. We see it go downhill. You're going to continue to see this. But if Bowman loses tonight, which he will, you're going to start to hear their days are numbered. Their power is not quite that much there. All these races are local. Who knows in a particular congressional district why they're tired of this guy? He is very tiresome. All right, phone lines, though, are 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Keep your eye on what we're going to see tomorrow, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow with this. Supreme Court is going to come down probably in the next 2 days, tomorrow or Thursday, with the immunity case, and also this case that we've talked about a little bit before that is wildly important. This is the case involving some of the January 6 people who got charged with ultimately with obstruction, even though not insurrection, and got 20 years in jail. It looks like the Supreme Court is going to be on the side of the plaintiffs in this. And if that happens, you're going to see that in the debate. The other one that I mentioned is this situation involving presidential immunity. The court's not going to say that Trump had total immunity, nor are they going to say he had no immunity. Watch for this to bleed into the debates, these two cases. One or both of them are going to come down. And I'm not sure. It depends on what the court says, who it cuts toward, who it's in favor of. But that's something that we'll see on Thursday. One way or the other, it'll play in there. Kathy sent me something interesting about that President Trump, he should work into this, given the Snopes saying that, no, Trump never said very fine people, meaning neo-Nazis, white supremacists in Charlottesville. He ought to work in say there are a lot of fine people on both sides of this debate. Maybe not the CNN moderators and Joe Biden, but a lot of fine people on both sides. That would be cool. I don't know if he wants to attack the moderators right out of the box. I'm not thinking it's a bad idea to duke it out with a moderator, depending upon if they give you enough of an opening, if they go too far, either Dana Bash or Jake Tapper, particularly if you can draw them away from their shield of being a journalist and actually confront. That wouldn't be a bad moment at all. What Trump has to do during this is be the more disciplined Trump that we've seen, not talk about himself as much, but policies that work for the average American, and say that's what I'm here for. And then launch into, for example, Joe, will you join me in saying we shouldn't tax the tips of people that are working service jobs and the like, anybody that's making a lot of their income off tips? Launch into that. Use that as the pivot to make the point you're talking about their lives, not going back to 2020. All right, 855-839-1210. But right now, let's pivot into Dom's.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
All right, we're playing for a pair of tickets today to see Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood on Saturday, June 29th. This show is a musical tribute to Philadelphia sports featuring all of Conklin's impressions, plus songs with Joe's daughter, his brothers, and many guest performers. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com. So, Dom, today we have a tribute to a person that we just lost within the past 24 hours. They were big, this band, with one song, and that's about it, one-hit wonder, but a very, very recognizable song, which makes me go back to the roots of Money Melody when we used to play 3 to 4 seconds of a song and see if our listeners can guess the name of the song. So, Dom, today, in tribute to someone we just lost within the past 24 hours, a very sad situation, I'm going to play a song that was very big. This is actually almost a cover to a degree. It uses a sample from a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, so that's not what we're looking for here. I want to put that out there. We're not looking for the Red Hot Chili Peppers song. We're looking for the name and the artist behind this big song, Dom, that was a one-hit wonder featuring an individual who we just lost. Take a listen. That's all I'm giving them.
That is a biggie, all-timer. 855-839-1210. We are looking for, again,
the name of the song and the artist that made the song.
Name of the song and artist. Hit us with that, or you're off to see Joe Conklin at 855-839-1210 here on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Everyone in an election for President of the United States will critically examine all of the issues and make a decision.
There you go.
So if you've wondered how elections work, everybody kind of sits down and they take their notes and they look at the issues and they say, okay, I like this issue, or this guy was better with that policy. And then you go to the ballots on election day, or you do a mail-in ballot or an absentee or whatever you might do, and you make your choice.
Imagine that.
How elections work with Kamala Harris, coming up tonight at 7 on PBS.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Have you questioned your doctor about symptoms like low energy, digestive issues, brain fog, joint pain, just not feeling right, just something is off, and you're only left settling for unanswered questions, or worse, being told it's just because you're getting older? You don't have to settle for unanswered questions any longer. With Younger Me MD's exclusive VIP membership program, aging doesn't have to make you feel older. Their proven 3-step process and functional medicine approach helps you discover the underlying causes of your issues. As a member, you get access to high-level personalized treatment plans, as well as discounts on treatments and supplements. If you're ready to live the life you deserve, it's time to learn about Younger Me MD's VIP membership program. Call 445-266-4024. 445-266-4024. That's 445-266-4024. And schedule your consultation with Younger Me MD.
We don't care who you vote for in the upcoming election. You know why? Because this is not a political ad. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group meet with people every day wondering if they should be doing something different with their money because it's an election year. At Retire Ready Financial Group, we want you to know where your money is, how it's performing, and if the market does go down, how does it affect your retirement? We call it a portfolio snapshot, and we do it at no charge. Our goal is for you to have confidence as you enter retirement, confidence to spend, and confidence that you won't run out of money. Let's vote those election worries right out of your retirement. For your complimentary portfolio snapshot, call 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or go to retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James B. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania.
Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Our lives aren't like they used to be. They're busier. Early morning Zooms, grabbing coffee to make that in-office meeting, getting to your kid's soccer game on time. Life is different, and so is advertising. To reach any audience, you need your message out there in all media, broadcast to streaming, on screens, and right to the ears of your customers. And that's what we do at Odyssey. Let's build a media campaign that targets the customers you know and want to reach more of, right here in our community. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Yo, Roy is Ford. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That is right, Dan. Returning to a favorite here, a very, very brief sample. You'll hear it in a second. And tell us the song and the artist.
The song that made it very popular. Not the original here, but the
Right.
song that made it very popular and the artist.
And you win a pair of tickets to see Joe Conklin. Let's hear the clue. All right, let's go to Scott in Lumberton, New Jersey. Hey, Scott, welcome in. What's your answer?
Dom.
Hi.
That is Butterfly by Crazy Town.
All right, that is right on the money.
Yeah.
Nicely played, Scott. Enjoy Joe Conklin. It's a great time. Songs, impressions, the whole thing. Nobody better.
Enormous song, Dom. Tons of popularity at one time. It was the third single from their first album. It was a sample, a pretty little ditty by Red Hot Chili Peppers. #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 2 consecutive weeks. Sung by a guy by the name of Shifty Shellshock, 49 years old, found dead by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiners. They say that he died at his residence on Monday. Cause has not been disclosed, but a guy that suffered through a lot of addiction issues through his entire life. So rest in peace, Shifty Shellshock. In tribute to you, I offer up Crazy Town's Butterfly as today's Money Melody.
Okay, here's a little bit of what President Trump will be facing, and not sure if he'll weave this into the debate. From Jake Tapper, Dan, cut 10, September 2018, Jake Tapper dedicates a segment to Stormy Daniels, and Trump's penis.
Lots of books claim to be tell-alls, but they don't follow through. Stormy Daniels' new book about her life? It's not that book. Wow, she tells all. From the details of her career in porn to, yes, being in bed with the future president of the United States and even being able to pick certain parts of him out of a lineup and then being threatened to shut up about it. All these accounts are in there. CNN has an early copy. CNN's Sarah Seidner is live for us in Los Angeles. Obviously, President Trump denies ever having a relationship with that woman, Miss Daniels. But Sarah, some of the details here are very not safe for work, but relevant to the legal troubles the president might find himself in.
Why is that always the Sarah woman, Dan? Today it was the drag show. She's always there with this. This seems to be her beat at CNN. All right.
Any salacious details, they go to her.
Yeah, they go to her. So it'll be interesting to see if Trump works this into any back and forth with Jake Tapper. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. Now, one hint, the Biden, you will remember to say this, since we're close, 2-year anniversary. of the Dobbs decision that if you vote for President Trump, you will get a national abortion ban. All right, that's one of the cornerstones on their side that they'll be putting in there. The other two cornerstones are any talk they can get about January 6th and any talk they can get to about the 2020 election. Now, I think that Trump gets it, that less is more, any talk at all about the 2020 election. All right, there's an easy pivot point here. I'm here to talk about the American people. We've litigated that. Want to assure people that we have a great team in place, name the RNC co-chairs, and what we're doing this time around to make sure there won't be anything that we have to worry about or little of that, okay? Dan, you tell me you have this Representative Susan DelBene.
Yeah, she's a Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee chair, and she's already doing this abortion dance that you're predicting is going to happen.
Let's hear it.
It's the former president has taken a position which he's repeated over and over. He's been very on message, which is not necessarily the norm for him. When he says, "Look, yes, my Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. However, we sent it back to the states. If you don't like the state you're in, you can move. Blue states can do what blue states want to do. Red states can do what red states want to do." Why is that not a valid position here?
Because that isn't the Republican position. The Republican position is to put in place a nationwide abortion ban, and they've been very clear about that. We've seen policy after policy after policy to take away reproductive rights, even in blue states, to prevent people from getting access, even in blue states. So this has been really devastating for women across the country, and we should be very clear. This is not just a state issue. And even this week, we're going to see in policy that comes on the floor with the defense funding bill, they're putting in policy riders to take away reproductive rights from service members. So over and over again, just see what they do. Their goal is a nationwide abortion ban.
All right. Now, a couple of things that Trump has been policy-wise incredibly disciplined in his own way and skillful at. One, no unending wars. We're not going to get involved. America first. We're not going to do that. Big change for the Republican Party. Two, ultimately, after some stumbles, I thought in the beginning, arriving at the idea, you're not going to nail me on this abortion stuff. I'm not going to go the way of Ron DeSantis. And the Republican platform, this time around, we believe, will not be anything like this 6-week abortion ban, et cetera. We've been through this. And in the beginning, you had some pro-life people call, or you had people nationally saying, no, this is a sellout. Now they get it. Trump is not going to say he favors a national abortion ban. He's going to say it went back to the states. 2-year anniversary, that's where it should be. That's what's happening. It hasn't been the Handmaid's Tale. It's an issue that, Joe, that you're just going to because you have nothing else. So I think he's worked out his policy masterfully on this, and there should be no doubt that this is not going to be a winner in the debate. The areas to worry about, and I think Trump learned from the debate the last time with Biden, we're not going to go back and relitigate 2020. This is not the place. Between now and Election Day, it's got to be, I put the American people first. We're not going to have their lives diminished by illegal aliens and inflation. Look at my 4 years. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? As far as the January 6th thing, I'm hoping that this Supreme Court case, I'm willing to bet almost that it's going to break on tomorrow or Thursday with these other defendants. And Trump has to be careful here and say that anybody that severely violated the law, they ought to be charged and tried in the manner that anybody else would. But there were a great number of people here that clearly were overcharged, and that Supreme Court case could be lurking there, and the Supreme Court is going to agree on that. All right, those are the couple of areas he has to worry about. Biden has to defend the chaos that he's created. The horrible economy, the illegal immigration stuff, the weakness around the world. Although I don't think that's the centerpiece. Less is more. You know, in a debate, the folly I've seen too many times, people trying to cram too much stuff in. What you want to go after Biden on are these heart-wrenching stories involving illegal immigrants, murder, the rape of this a 12-year-old, and what he's done to our economy, inflation. The stuff around the world and all that stuff, I don't think people are going to be out of their seats on that. Yeah, it's important in the grand scheme of things. But as far as Taiwan and the Chinese and all, people want to hear the difference between the two and what they want to assess if they're leaning anywhere, which is hard. I don't know how a person can lean one way or another. You can't make up your mind. But if they are and they haven't been paying attention, do they see Trump concerned policies, joyful warrior? If they do, that's a huge plus. With Biden, they're looking to see, is he the least little bit cogent? You know, the standing up for 90 minutes. So those are the challenges for both. And I think Trump gets it. He seems to be in a mode. And it's fine to answer the question and say the two are ganging up on you, the two moderators. But don't dwell on that. Answer it in the way that you want. Make the point with the two of them. And throw it back to Biden. I even like Sean Spicer's suggestion, Dan. I yield my time to President Biden, maybe not right in the beginning. Joe, I'd like you to name every member of your cabinet to see what Biden would do. Dan, how many do you think he can come up with? Shot up or not?
2.
Yeah, you might skip over Kamala Harris. My hope is he starts putting people in there that are deceased from 20 years ago. Then we'll see what the fact checker says. Yeah, I think he might. Does he know the commerce director? Does he know the defense person?
Even more, like give the guy's name and say what's the role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The moderators might jump into the ring. If they do, then your chance says, "Hey, I've given my time. I don't know why you're jumping into the ring. It's a legitimate question that I have. I don't think he knows him, so I'm giving my time. Why are you jumping into the ring?"
I think he knows 5.
He knows 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
VP Harris.
Right.
Secretary of State Blinken.
Right.
Treasury Yellen. I think she's constantly in his ear talking about economic issues. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin with the border stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that they couldn't find him for a week.
And then Merrick Garland with all the Hunter stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
And
well played. After that,
I don't think anybody.
If it's 5,
the judge maybe. Cardona, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, if it's 5 out of 15, that's not so good.
That's your name as chief of staff.
Exactly. Let's go to Joe in Exton. Danny's gotten a couple of votes on YouTube that Joe of Exton ought to be on a stamp. Let's go to Joe here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, afternoon to you.
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon to you. A person whose image should be honored on a stamp. My person is Mother Drexel. As a young lady, she decided to forego marriage and instead to dedicate her life to improving the life of young American Native Indians and of young people of color.
Good choice, Joe. As always, every time I hear Joe.
Ask him a trivia question.
Oh, okay. Well, tomorrow when he calls in. And Dan.
Do you know who founded Drexel University and how the relation to St. Catherine Drexel?
No.
Uncle.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Joseph Drexel was the founder of Drexel University and the uncle of St. Catherine.
Question I want to know is Joe of Exton going to be a Yankee Doodle dandy and come to our July 3rd party over at Mulligan's?
He's got it.
Remember, July 3rd is the next. It's almost on us. Tomorrow will be a week away. July 4th at Mulligan's, well, pre-July 4th. You're headed down the shore at all, thinking about it. It's a great way to celebrate. Get to see all the talk, the fun of this Dom Day. Dan, I just saw a couple more people out here today. I couldn't believe the turnout of people. There's nothing like it. It is a great fun thing. It's shared of all these things, and we'll have, by that point, we will have the debate, and we'll be still talking about that, I'm sure. You know, Fox has to change this headline, Dan, and not let this woman on. Death penalty not ruled out for migrant suspects. What do you mean it's not ruled out? What is wrong even with Texas Look, I'm not saying I don't know if they did it or not yet. I know there's a lot of evidence, drones and everything else, cameras, right? But you mean to say if these two people, they might have ties to ISIS, the GOP's asking about, one with an ankle bracelet, they sexually assaulted her for hours, a 12-year-old, allegedly, then allegedly murdered her and just dumped her in a creek. You mean to say it's even a question in a place like Texas to have the death penalty? I have to say, I think the left has won on the death penalty. They so have encumbered the system. If that were put up for a vote in Philadelphia, I still think, Dan, it would be 50-50. You just have people against the death penalty. That's it. They won on that. No matter what the evidence is, no matter how severe the crime is. And you know my standard. I don't care about anything. You take the life under first-degree murder. I don't care whose life it is. I don't care was there suffering, not suffering. It's all immaterial. It's one thing. You took a life. You're not allowed to take a life. You end your life. That's what it comes down to. Why is this so difficult? Particularly given the evidence they have on these people. All right, 855-839-1210. So the GOP is requesting, do these migrants have any ties to ISIS? And, of course, the Biden administration is laughing at that, saying another preposterous scheme. We'll see. 855-839-1210. You can get on board. Hey, next week, the 4th of July, summer picnics and gatherings, all good reasons to make the call to Captain Chucky's. Let Captain Chucky's help. This just in, check out all that new wild shrimp scampi ravioli. Chucky's teaming up with Vera Pasta, offering lobster, crab, and now wild shrimp ravioli. Remember, order the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. That Bang Bang Crab Cake for the 4th is perfect. It's Rose's favorite. It's a delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick. For those who like to spice it up with some heat, check the store for availability. And it's a perfect time to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides and desserts. Captain Chucky's always has several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally, a crab cake for everybody. Desserts, soup, sides, appetizers. They serve only the highest ingredients, quality ingredients. And that Gulf shrimp, that is always a hit. July 4th, winter, it doesn't matter, holidays. Never farm raised, always wild caught, and get some Dom rolls for the table. Visit Captain Chucky's today, location near you. Just visit WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're headed to the shore like the Mulligans, remember the website CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Hotter temperatures return to the forecast today, but humidity levels stayed low. Plenty of sunshine with a high 92. Tonight, humidity increases a bit, partly cloudy, low 72. And for Wednesday, partly sunny, hot and humid with some late-day strong to severe storms, high 95.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You know me. You know I love easy living. You want the best?
You want relaxation and invigoration. You want to transform your outdoor living space. You go to Jacuzzi Hot Tubs of Southeastern PA because it's not a hot tub, it's a jacuzzi. With Jacuzzi, you get the quality, you get the price, you get the whole thing.
Visit Jacuzzi Hot Tubs of SCPA.com.
Get ready to hit it out of the park every time you fire up the grill this summer with Hatfield. Swing into action with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground pork and sausage, ham, bacon, and your favorite Hatfield Phillies Franks. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, Hatfield pork is food you'll feel good about serving. From home or at the ballpark, find your flavor with Hatfield, the official pork provider of the Phillies. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Topricin Pain Relief Cream can help you live a pain-free life. If you suffer aches and pains of any kind, including arthritis, back, neck, shoulder, and joint pain, please try patented Topricin Pain Relief Cream. Topricin is made from good things like arnica, echinacea, and calendula. Guaranteed Topricin is available at fine pharmacies and natural markets throughout Greater Philadelphia and online at Amazon and Topricin.com. Get Topricin today. Topricin, rub it in. Use only as directed.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
It is Dom time, coming to your calls at 855-839-1210. A couple of things. One, the U.S. Olympic team, I don't know if the Biden people have heard about this, are taking their own air conditioning units to Paris for the Olympics, which I think will be a big edge.
That's huge.
Because the others, there's nothing like trying to sleep in a hot room, that kind of thing, no matter what you do. Dan, some of these other teams, though, are talking about they're going to have cool floors or something. That's what the French are trying to say versus air conditioning.
Wow.
Yeah. That's an advantage when you only need a, 100th of a second. I'm not sure about the transgendered in the Olympics. We'll see more about that once we see individual races and how they play out. That'll be coming up pretty soon. The other thing is, if you missed it at the top of the show, told you Scott Pressler's latest in Bucks County is to say we're going to turn Bucks County red by the first day of the Republican convention in Milwaukee, which is July 15th. That means there will be 3 more weekly reports, the 1st on Monday, the 8th, and the 15th. 537 is the Democrat lead at the rate of about 180 to 200, flipping every week. That's where it's been. That can happen on the first day of the Republican conference convention. Why is it important? Why is this important? Well, this guy, in addition to just what an activist when he's out there in the field, is a strategist. I see people all over his Twitter talking about, let's do this, let's do that, Luzerne County, here in Pennsylvania. It's a game of inches. And this election cycle is going to be a game of inches in Pennsylvania. And who wins Pennsylvania? I think Rich has said the same thing. I believe who wins Pennsylvania, I don't see any way that they're not going to be president. I see the road there. I don't buy Trump in Michigan. It could happen. Wisconsin is extremely close. Pennsylvania, though, is the dogfight of dogfights, and they know it. And that's why every vote counts here. That's why trips to places like Philadelphia are important. 25% of the vote. I don't even know if you need that in Philadelphia. to go Republican. I think 23, somewhere along those lines. We'll be talking to a lot of people about that. And we should feel happy. This radio station is right in the center of that universe, second to none in Pennsylvania, which is the most important state in the end. So it's a burden of history, but it should be exciting if it's executed properly. We win the presidency. We turn the country around almost overnight. So 855-839-1210. Dan, I think the first place I'll go the next day might be Chestnut Hill. Just one place to go. It just rubs me the wrong way. Dr. Jill Biden comes into this insulated community. The Case family hosted her last night, telling people, what's the difference between Trump and Joe? They're both old, but Joe has more compassion, more good sense than Trump does. Yeah, you can buy that. You're insulated by your money, Case family, and Jill, and Carole King comes in to sing, of course. I like Carole King, but come on. I don't know what was on the playlist there. And $450,000 they go out with. By the way, Martina Navratilova, Dan, has re-stepped up big time and is in a ferocious battle on Twitter with a lot of men telling her she's transphobic. Now, she was not only one of the 5 best women's tennis players of all time, but I think was the first openly lesbian that I remember anyhow that was a big-time star. And to go after her, where are these other female athletes? If a Serena Williams, Dan, jumped into the ring a little bit on this, Billie Jean King really doesn't. No, Billie Jean King's on the other side, it seems to be, which is just ludicrous. The Olympics coming up, we're going to see somebody who is transgender, some sort of thing there. And all you need is a 1/10 of a second in any of these competitions. And, Dan, I still don't know how Riley Gaines, I'm looking at a picture of her and when she's been on, how in the world did she tie Leah Thomas? That must have been a superhuman effort.
Yeah, right.
Leah Thomas is not as tall as you, but it's just perfect build for a swimmer. 6'4", and against Riley Gaines, tied. And then she doesn't get the trophy. That's the thing. They had to give it to Leah Thomas. It wouldn't have been right.
How is that possible? She's a 12-time All-American NCAA swimmer?
I didn't know that.
12? How do you?
Different categories.
Different strokes.
Different things, yeah. Robert in Ben Salem, we didn't see him in Mulligan's. Check that absentee list. Hey, Robert. Welcome in.
I was absent a lot. I was absent a lot in school, too, Dom.
They were asking for you. You and Joe have Exton.
Not only were they asking for you, Robert, they were wondering if you were there and you just weren't telling us.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
That's a common theme of Robert.
Yeah. You just took a shot at me for the Rand Paul event.
Yes.
How you guys doing today? And I'll be very quick before I get to my answer, but I really don't think CNN or Biden realize the peril they are in. We're talking about the peril that Trump is in going into the Lion's Den. But CNN, I have the feeling, don't be surprised if CNN and the Biden team regret having this debate. Just because truth is so much, and it's usually not on any one side like it is this time, but the truth is just solidly on his side. And CNN, their hypocrisy, they are the emperor without clothes. And Trump is exactly the kind of guy that will tell them that they are naked. And sometimes that's all it takes, you know what I mean?
Well, I think I see the moments in the way that you're talking about there. And I told you, the only thing Trump has to navigate, and I think he's willing to do that after the last time, don't overdo it on Biden. Let him talk more. The more he talks, the more he does that. Don't let him get under your skin, calling you a loser, bankruptcy, and all the rest of it. Be generous toward Hunter Biden and say, I understand, massive you know what I mean, Robert? You'll win in the end if you do that. He does not have to crush him here.
He also has quivers in his arrows if the moderators start to attack him. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the moderators, going after the moderators, I agree. That's solid.
Yeah, especially if they start trying to hinder him. But at any rate, I don't want to take too long. After listening to Dr. Jill Biden, I can't even say that without making a bodily function. I am going to go with a living American medical pioneer, and I would like to nominate Dr. Ben Carson to be on the stamp.
Absolutely. And
you guys have a great day, all right?
Thank you very much. I nominate that Ben Carson will be joining us tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and he will. And at 2, Lee Zeldin, who had a dust-up, Dan, with Casey Hunt. I don't know if you saw it on CNN when she just started laughing when he was giving a response about President Trump.
What is with this?
This Casey Hunt is a big interview. And we have the commissioner of Philadelphia, Bethel. What a day to have him at 1 o'clock in studio on Thursday. The situation with this cop, et cetera. But the overall, you'll get to know him. We'll have calls, et cetera. It's going to be a big day in studio. Haven't seen much of the commissioner that extended on it. Hear great stuff about him. And we'll bring all that to you. Thanks with Dan. The thing I'm waiting for, though, Dan, the most is O'Reilly confirmed for Friday?
12:30.
12:30. O'Reilly on Friday, Dan. I'm just going to throw the ball to him, Dan. Step by step, break down the performance of the moderators. Oh, man.
I love it.
Make sure O'Reilly has a bib on when he's doing that. The drool will be just too much.
Better be careful. You might get another angry email from Tapper.
Oh, yeah, Jake Tapper. You know better than that. Yeah, we'll see. Feel free. You can call in on Friday is my response, whoever his source is.
Jake's available. He's able to come on whenever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's talk Dr. Bentz before the lightning round here. If you have a fear of the dentist, you're not alone. My friend and board-certified dentist, Dr. Robert Bentz, is known for helping you overcome fear and anxiety. I sent a patient to him, dear listener, from Ocean City, New Jersey, right? All the way from there. Hadn't been to the dentist in 8 years. That's hard to believe. Now is a regular patient of Dr. Bentz's after getting over that fear. Now, I didn't have fear of the dentist the last time I was at Dr. Bentz, but I wanted to tell you my experience. I had a permanent tooth put in. I had the temporary in there for a while. We did a short procedure, and there was none of that. Oh, it feels high, doc. Tap, tap, tap. Smooth it down more. None of that. Bang, it's in there. All right, Dom. Good night, everybody. Go talk. That's due to Dr. Bentz's skill, but also that 3D printer that we often joke about, the convenience, the fit, the feel that you'll get. It's all there with Dr. Bentz. Why not make that initial appointment? You will see the Bentz difference. You'll see the care that I get. That's why he's my friend, dentist, and board-certified prosthodontist, the Bentz Dental Group. Make that appointment today. Visit bentzdentalgroup.com or 610-272-6949, 610-272-6949.
Join Team Kale & Company once again this year for the Bend to Shore Bike Tour on Sunday, July 21st. From Philly to Atlantic City, you can do the ride or just donate to support the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. That's shore.org. Let's show everyone how WPHT and Odyssey supports law enforcement. Bend to Shore is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. SBBCF provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders and supports the Police Youth Alliance, which fosters a positive relationship between police and youth. Sponsored by Gelman Law. Need a criminal defense attorney or personal injury? Visit GelmanLawFirm.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Using credit cards could soon become a hassle in Pennsylvania. Some in the legislature are considering a multi-million-dollar giveaway to corporate megastores and may force you to pay for parts of your purchase in cash, while small businesses will have to manage an accounting nightmare. This mandate could also expose information about the private purchases you make. Prevent credit card chaos at guardyourcard.com/Pennsylvania. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navien's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. Free speech lives here.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, hit us. Who should be on a U.S. stamp? They might be already, or you would want them to be. Joe in Bordentown. Uh-oh. Joe, who's yours?
Mine is Nikola Tesla,
Yes!
the actual inventor of radio and AC current.
Yeah, my man.
Marconi might differ with you on that, but okay. I think Edison's already on a stamp, so I don't. Tesla probably is.
Tesla already is too, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Dan in Richboro. Don't know about this one happening anytime soon. Dan, who's yours? Yo, Dan.
Dan.
Dan?
Dan?
All right. The Earl of Tacony. Earl, who's yours today?
I'm going to get to my story, so I'm going to have to tell you later about the time I slept in a dorm with no air conditioning, and I technically slept in a refrigerator. But early postal service, you would go to the post office, drop off a letter, and you would pay, and they would mark it paid, and they would deliver it. But more often than not, it was postage due, where you would just drop off the letter, they take it to your house, say, Dom, you have a letter, you owe us 2 cents, and if you didn't pay, they would take the letter back and either return to sender or throw it out. So in the 1840s in England, they developed uniform postage rates, and Sir Rowland Hill, developed the first adhesive postage stamp. 2 years later, in 1842, Alexander Grieg developed the first self-adhesive American postage stamp. So my answer is Alexander Grieg, who came up with the first stamp, which had Benjamin Franklin on it, who was the first postmaster general.
Very nice. Great story, too. Richard in Summerdale. All right, Richard, what's yours?
Hi. Well, I'm thinking about all the people who won the Congressional Medal of Honor. They should have a row of stamps with all pictures of all the people who won the Congressional Medal of Honor for their service in the military guarding our country.
Not a bad idea. I think some might have been on it. I'm unclear on that. Last one, Drew in Upper Darby. Drew, who's yours?
Hey, Dom, thanks a lot. Dom, I'm not joking when I say this choice, because this figure is very, very popular hero among our young people around the country. And I'm going to say the Phillies fanatic.
All right. I don't know how many mascots have made it on there or not. That's an interesting choice. Dan, some contenders.
Kate Smith was a great one, I thought.
Yes.
I really like Nikola Tesla. I like Earl's answer of the inventor of the postage stamp, Alexander Grieg. Caitlyn Jenner, a Congressional Medal of Honor. I'm kind of leaning towards Kate Smith, who has a stamp, but she definitely deserves it.
That's the one I would go with, particularly given the attacks. Flyers, do the right thing. We'll come over and pick it up. We got a guy. We got a bunch of guys. We'll take that statue right down the Wildwood. Just give up Kate Smith. Let's start. Flyers are back. They're doing better. Give up Kate Smith. All right, Richie always next for 4 big hours. Follow on Twitter at DomShow1210. Back tomorrow with Ben Carson, Lee Zeldin, and others. And don't forget, Mulligans next Wednesday, 1 week away, here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
From above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows, and you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
When it comes to your home or business, Bradford White knows hot water is not optional. It's essential each and every day. That's why Bradford White makes water heaters that are built to be the best. With innovative features like our exclusive Microban antimicrobial technology that helps protect and keep the tank clean and extends the life of the water heater for top performance 24/7. How you heat your water matters, so choose the proven reliability of Bradford White. Learn more at bradfordwhite.com.
The ride you want is what we've got. So, drive a little, save a lot at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Come to Turnersville and get incredible zero-down lease deals on a massive inventory of new Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram trucks. That's right, save big with special zero-down lease deals at Turnersville. The ride you want is what we've got. So, drive a little, save a lot. TurnersvilleJeep.com, your premier tri-state Jeep, Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Wagoneer dealer.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra in North Wildwood in Ocean City, New Jersey.
The satire on all of the Eagles and the Phillies, oh my goodness, it was just too hilarious.
His daughter's amazingly a great singer, but I didn't know everybody in the family was that good of a singer. I mean, I absolutely loved it.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood, Saturday, June 29, and at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey on Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Hi, this is Joe Medercher, PNC Bank Regional President. What's important to you? What drives you? What do you want your wealth to do? At PNC Private Bank, we call that your why, and we want to understand yours. Maybe it's creating a legacy, buying a home, or enjoying your retirement. Whatever your goals are, we'll work with you to build a personalized wealth plan to help you achieve it. So tell us, what's your why? To learn more, please visit pnc.com/privatebank. PNC Private Bank is a service mark of the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3077 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-3077.